welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel. I am the Reverend Raff.
We did it, we made it.
Because when a band's name starts being everywhere, it can be very easy to go like, okay, like.
Just because I know what it's like to feel left out and to feel like people are weird or mean to you, and so I never want to be that person, and I want...
This here is my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
Big opportunity. You guys must be stoked you're on the first day too, because you can just sort of shoot. Yeah, you can just relax.
Brian was sitting down with his longtime friend and his former bandmate Meegs from Cold Chamber, and they were having coffee, and Brian was...
When those questions go, those hearty chuckles.
You know what that laughter says to me is like, people don't even know what's coming. People just are going to be minds are going to be blown by that.
No, it will be a fucking banger.
What's going on, everybody? I am the Reverend Raff, joined once again by my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
What's going on, everybody?
We are the Two Dudes Who Talk Music, and welcome to another episode of the Two Dudes Talk Music podcast. That's right, another week has gone by, so another episode is coming into your ears right now. Probably should have used some different phrasing there, mate. Okay.
That's all right.
Yes, we are the Two Dudes Who Talk Music. We have 6 videos on YouTube every week, including our regular podcast. We got band interviews, reactions, our series Rockin' Around the World, where we check out songs from metal bands from all across this beautiful planet of ours. We do, we got the Patreon as well. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out.
Gotta hit that up.
Patreon's only a couple of bucks, but we do recognize that everyone's asking you to subscribe to everything these days. So if you can't, or you're not in a position to, or you just don't want to, that's totally fine. We hope you enjoy anyway. So yes, welcome to another episode of the podcast. But before we get too far into that, mate, how you doing? How's your neck? Man. I know you're starting to look like yourself again.
Back. I'm feeling good. Started back at physio. I'm started at physio. So yeah, that's twice a week now. And yeah, looking forward to organising some filming back in Sydney and getting some new videos done on this end. And yeah, it's looking awesome. I'm keen.
Love it.
How you going?
I'm good. So by the time, at the time of recording, Knotfest Brisbane is tomorrow, but by the time this video comes out, there very well may be something on the channel already about the experience at Knotfest. We are going to hopefully have dropped that one on Thursday, so hey, go and check that one out. I know that at the time of release of this video, Knotfest Sydney is yet to happen, so you can get a little bit of a taste of what you might be in store for if you want to go and check that one out. But it's just all going to be reporting, having a good time, maybe... If we can manage it, maybe some skits. I don't know. We'll see what we can swing.
Oh, do it.
We'll see what we can swing. But yeah, that's kind of where all that is sitting. Not too much to report other than that, really. Just kicking on, getting stuff going.
Just getting into the swing of the year with work and getting back into normalcy and
just hectic.
Everyone's in that same stage.
Yep. I cannot believe that it is 1/6 of the year gone already.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's going to be a quarter of the way through the year, and that is scary.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to take a dive in. We're going to get going with our podcast episode today. So look, if you are following it, we mentioned it earlier, Rockin' Around the World. If you've been following that series, then about a month ago, you'll know we dropped an episode featuring a band called Scopus Magnus, who described themselves as Sniper Metal. And they were from Finland, I believe. Yep, Finland. And look, they are, I said Sniper Metal. That's what they described. That's what they described themselves as, high caliber Sniper Metal. I love the puns. I love the wordplay there. Look, we loved it. We were all about it. We had a really, really good time with it. And they reached out. They said, hey, we saw your video.
So good they saw the video.
We'd like to, if you're interested, we'd love to come on and chat. So we're like, absolutely. Let's make that happen. So we're going to get stuck into that one right now with these guys. It's going to be really, really fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun talking about what they do. So we got the double whammy. We had Europeans last week and we got Europeans again this week for you. So, we're getting real global here, man.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
Expanding and exploring the world of metal. So we're going to get
it's so nice to see that bands are starting to notice how lucrative the Australian metal market is from around the world. And, we're there to do that. We're here to do that job.
Absolutely.
Hopefully bring you something new.
Yeah, and look, if you like discovering new music and new bands, chuck us a subscribe. There's plenty there to learn about. But anyway, we're going to dive into this one right now with Scopus Magnus. Thank you very, very much to Will, Yeda, and Saku joining us today from Scopus Magnus, the world's first and only high-caliber sniper death metal band, joining us all the way from Finland. Thank you so, so much for, A, reaching out about jumping on the podcast, and B, for joining us today. We sincerely enjoyed 600 meters to the Church of St. Peter's. That was a very, very fun song. The production was great. The music's great. The riffs are like so tight. They just nailed on. And
roaring solos.
If I'm being honest, I can get on board with the subject matter. So like, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for releasing some absolutely banging songs. Like, really, really like it. For our Australian audience who may not be necessarily particularly familiar with you guys, just give us a little bit about the band, how you guys got started, and like what kind of, what you guys are trying to achieve with what you're doing.
Okay, go for it.
Oh yeah. I think the on conceptual level, this band was started back in 2016, 15. But we only started playing this current project, I'd say about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. And we actually started as a bolt thrower cover band, and we were called Bolt Cover. So at that point, I think we played one rehearsals where we played a couple of bolt thrower songs, and then just fuck it, let's do our own music. We kind of had some ideas already, and we had the sniper theme, of course, because me and Saku were playing around with it for a couple of years before that. So yeah.
We fell into the old trap of trying to create your own stuff. All downhill from there.
Yeah, that's it. If you want to make music in heavy metal, do a cover band. Don't do original stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But,
best way to make the moolah.
But I really like it, and I mean something that I am a very, very big fan of is when a band has like a concept and a theme that they build everything around. And that is like 100% what you guys have done here. Like, Scopus Magnus with the EP being called your Magnum Scopus. I love it. I love, high caliber metal, caliber as in bullet size, caliber as in quality. I'm just like, I love good wordplay. I love like a theme and a consistent idea running through everything. I think it adds a cohesiveness and a degree of professional presentation to the project. And I know so many people who are scared to do something like that for fear of coming off as gimmicky. And I think that we say this constantly on the podcast. Like, I can go out in any given week and see 100 good bands, right? What are you going to do that's going to make you stand out and stick in my mind? And that sort of branding is exactly the thing to be doing.
Yeah. You know how many times I've walked up to someone in the last couple of months and been to show or whatever and been like, "You ever heard of Sniper Metal?"
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, we didn't do it on purpose. It's kind of, it started as an inside joke about making everything related to snipers. And it's like, it's funny to me when you say that it's professional, because we don't see it quite professional, because it feels gimmicky to me, at least. I don't know.
But then again, it's one of those things that you get this feeling that maybe we should hold back or try to tone it down, but then you have to fight it and say that it's full gas ahead.
If you're going to do something like that, you have to put the pedal to the metal with it. You have to go in full force with it, because otherwise it just feels, if you go in full force with it and you're knowingly doing it with like, tongue in cheek, or sparkle in your eye, and you're just like, yeah, okay, like we're a bit silly about it. We're serious about the music, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. That's the best spot to operate in. And it's, like I said, it's how you stand out, right?
12 Foot Ninja. They're a great example.
12 Foot Ninja's a great band. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
They had the Ninja theme, and they're an Australian band. They're awesome, and yeah, like they it was what made them stand out. You know, I went from seeing them at the Manning Bar to a little uni venue here in Sydney, and it was half full. And then a year later, I go there, and it's like tickets are sold out.
Yeah.
Before you've even walked in the door, like.
Yeah, it's just it's so. Have you guys done like been in active bands previously to this, or is this kind of your first thing?
I think everyone has been in other bands in the past, and some are still.
Yeah, still for a time. Yeah. Kind of active. Yeah, I think so. Well, we can go one by one, but I still play. I'm gonna quit in 2 weeks. Oh, newsflash! This kind of like strapping young lad style band called Status Abnor. And then I have a kind of like Archfire type of technical death metal band coming up soon. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Keep us posted.
But yeah. For example, for me, the sniper metal thing is the only thing I got good at.
Got one eye on it at all times. That's it. You just got to honed in.
You're focused in on that target.
Eyes on the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all have a long experience on different projects and bands. So.
Okay.
Good.
So we're experienced.
Okay. So what? Just because obviously, like the metal scene is so different in different countries and all around the world. Like what's the metal scene like over there in Finland and kind of in your corner of Europe that you guys are rattling around in?
Oh boy.
Finland is it's quite active. I think I read somewhere that Finland has the per capita highest count of metal bands in the world. So
makes
sense. If you go to a metal show here, half of the audience is in some band. So and they're thinking of how they can promote their stuff. But yeah, so it's quite active.
Yeah, but it also makes it really difficult to do something different that pops out. So that it's a challenging scene.
And there's also the problem that because there's so many bands and projects, at least I have had the experience that not many venues are ready to pay you anything for playing.
Yeah, because there's always like 5 more bands that'll take your place.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so it's not that different than Australia.
Yeah, no. Australia's problem is the amount of venues that'll put metal bands on. But we but yeah, it's the thing I just love to just learn about what the different scenes are like all over the world. Like we had, I don't know if you're familiar with the Swiss band Zona. We had those guys on we had the singer from them on last week. And he was telling us like about in Switzerland, it's like you kind of have to get really successful overseas or internationally before people locally start to take you seriously. Because they're very like skeptical, around there. And I'm just like, it's crazy to me how like sometimes there's some elements that are just so similar, even though we're on opposite sides of the world. And then there's some elements where it's just like, completely different experiences,
Well, it's a niche market all over the world, regardless of the way you sort of take it.
Yeah, so in lots of places there is this oversaturation of like local metal bands. So kind of makes sense that it takes global audience.
Yeah. Oh, it's why it's why it's more important than anything to be able to stand out. You know, if you look and sound like every other band that's playing, no one's going to remember you. You know, it's one of the reasons that bands, you know, that have, you know, like with bands with masks or bands that wear face paint tend to stick in people's minds a bit, or bands that have a distinct look on stage, you know, whether it's a uniform or like just a consistent visual style, it just works, and it helps to just keep everything together, you know.
Actually, thinking about that, when we start, I say when, not if, when we start actively playing gigs, how would the stage presence look? You know, we're like joking about giving people laser pointers. You know, that's like lights on us and fucking webbing on the back of the stage and camo nets and fucking play carriers.
Yeah. Well, you got to get you need to get the assault rifle guitars. Those ones.
Have them with lasers. I can see it now. What you do is you have a fake little garden set up, like fake lawn grass set up. Wear the ghillie suits. Poke down in the grass right before your set starts, and just pop up and fucking scare everyone.
Yeah. I'm hiding there for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, while the other bands are playing like around you on the thing, you got to like be entrenched.
Yeah, we already have the AK-47 in our rehearsal place. So it's an airsoft gun.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, that's it.
So I'm always curious, given the available of you know, or the ubiquitousness of recording technology these days. I'm always curious when we talk to bands, like how with the recordings that you guys have released, that EP Magnum Scopus, was that like an in-house thing? Did you guys go like record it somewhere else and have someone else mix it, or did you guys take care of all that yourselves?
We actually we hired a producer, if you want to put it that fancily, but we worked with this guy from Arttu Lesonen from a band called Lost Society. They have some international fame, so might know them. But so we handed the project to him, and I would say he really delivered. We're very happy with the end product, how it came out. So he helped us. It wasn't a professional studio or like a dedicated studio space, but it was sort of a makeshift studio where we did all of the recording.
Okay.
Oh, it sounds like you've done it in a proper studio.
Yeah, like it's crisp. It's really, really good.
That's a good producer.
How long of a process was that for you? Was it just like banging it out in a few days? Was it a few weeks worth of going back and tightening things up?
It's actually kind of long project. I think all of the recordings took like 3 months, maybe. But that was mostly because we worked on it like on a weekday evenings.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, except the drums were hammered out in 2 days because you have to set the kit up and mic everything. So that those were done in 2 days, but the rest of it was like these evening sessions, and there was some time in between. So therefore, calendar-wise, it took surprisingly long to get it out.
Well, I mean, it shows that there's been a lot of care put into it, and a lot of a lot of precision. If you want to make another pun about it. But it is like I am, like for a time I was studying music production. I've been fortunate enough to work with some pretty cool people on that front. A band that I was in actually got to go to Los Angeles, and we recorded with Logan Mader, who you may know was in Machine Head. So I've been and like I was like watching him intently do his thing while he was working on stuff, and like I'm fascinated by the production side of it, and I always appreciate like when something is just done really, really well. Like everything is so balanced in there. The performances are really, really tight. And I just, every element of it is just so dialed in. So I got to say, like, I think that was a great job from you guys and from your producer on that. It really does stand up with, you know, anything else out there in the industry. It really, really does. So I hope you guys are proud of that, what you've released there, because it's fucking good.
Sure.
Thanks for the kind words. And it is, well, really, I have to tip the cap to Arttu for delivering, because obviously the home recording stuff is good, but what we wanted to get out of it, especially using an outside producer, is that to really get the extra polish on. So I think at least I'm very happy about how it came out.
And yeah, that's true. I think when there's someone else recording you instead of, like, for example, I think William and me, we play guitar, and so we have the equipment in home to, you know, record something. But it's always, you know, when there's someone else pushing you to the limit and, you know, squeeze out everything you can do on the album, it's kind of a different thing. It's easier for me to, you know, or maybe easier for William to let me slip up some solos, you know, play sloppily or something like
it's
that.
good enough.
It's good enough.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. Like, you know, when you've got a producer there, they can help guide you. They can be like, no, I think you can do it better. I think you've got one more in. Just give me one more to be safe. And then, you know, like, but equally, they also can be good for knowing when you've got it and you don't have to record another 3 or 4 takes on it and waste the time with that. It can be a really helpful just to have that extra experienced set of ears to make those kind of decisions. I just want to go back a moment there. So you mentioned that, Will, you mentioned you guys haven't played any shows yet. Is that right?
Yeah. No, we actually had one DIY type of thing. This like really small festival among friends. Type of, but so-called real venues, no.
Okay.
That's something we're working on this year to actually get a few local shows going at that.
And is that
real band?
is that just can I ask, is that just something that, like, just schedules haven't worked out and it hasn't really been a priority, or you've just kind of had a hard time with getting your foot in the door on that?
Honestly, I think we haven't been really actively working on it.
Okay.
On that. So that's the reason I sure. Yeah, but for this year we're gonna try to set something up.
Yeah.
No,
Awesome.
Good. Because people. Oh, I couldn't. Oh, I'd love to see it live.
Yeah, I think live it'd be very, very fun. Some of those songs have got a lot of potential for some really cool stuff live, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Have to fly you guys over.
Hey, look, if you're paying, we'll come and
fucking.
Absolutely, we'll come over for that.
Visa.
But once the starts rolling in,
That's it. Just start getting them fat checks.
So, like, what have you got? You know, what else is kind of on the cards for this year? Like, is there any other goals that you guys want to try and achieve through this year, or even, you know, looking into 2026 maybe? Like,
I think for this year, well, obviously the first gig, so to speak, and maybe get the songs ready for the next album.
Yeah, we've been working on some songs for the following recording. Not sure if we'll start in the fall of this year or maybe spring of next year, but no promises on any release dates. But we're working on some new songs.
Okay,
Nice.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm just honestly, out of the series of the Rockin' Around the World series that we've been doing has been a lot of fun, right? We've been, I don't know if you've checked out many of the other videos that we did from it, but we've been going all over the place. Like, we had an Algerian grindcore band called Castle Full of Shit. We've had, I think, just in the latest batch we did, we found this this Iranian prog metal band that has like a big Dream Theater kind of vibe about their stuff, like just really, really cool stuff. You know, we've been finding we found this metal band from like Madagascar, which was like
I saw that
wild.
one.
Like we just hey, it's everywhere. It really is everywhere, and we love. That's one of the reasons we wanted to do that series because, you know, Kyle and I are the kind of people that are always looking to seek out something new. We're always looking for something new that's going to like tickle that part of your brain that gets you really excited about music. And, you know, obviously going through this series, you know, we get some stuff that's like, okay, sometimes it's kind of average or like it has, you know, not the best production values necessarily. We've been getting a lot of black metal stuff. And as I'm sure you know, black metal has traditionally almost intentionally poor quality recording, you know, as part of the vibe. But, you know, there has really been some absolute gems. And, you know, you guys are one of the bands that I would put in that category because it's just, you know, despite, like I said, I mean, you know, you guys have been you know, working on stuff for a couple of years now, and you've obviously got that release and now looking at starting to get out there for gigs. But honestly, like, it feels like what you guys are putting out there so far feels like the whole package. You know, you know, you kind of got what you're presenting is the kind of thing that you can just give it to people and it immediately makes sense. They immediately get what you guys are about. They understand what the theme of everything is. They understand the branding, and it's all there. You know, even if it is, as I said, tongue in cheek a little bit, you know, unserious for a bit of fun.
What
was that?
Over the top a little bit.
Yeah. But it's like so many metalheads take themselves way too seriously.
Yeah. And one of the points was to make something, you know, so seriously that it kind of
goes into unserious territory.
Yeah, but, you know, becomes awesome again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
made me and I'm sure the other guys really happy with when you did the featured us on the Rocking Around the World. Was that you immediately got the point of the pack.
Yeah,
you nailed it.
Yeah.
Because it does, it just smacks you in the head. It's just heavy. It's just heavy. It's got great mosh appeal. It's just everything that was just sort of that I love about metal was just it's right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it when bands can do that. Like I don't know if you're familiar with a band called Bro Job, BROJOB.
I think I get the joke.
They're basically, they do deathcore, but everything is themed around like, you know, pink stuff or like gay things or, you know, sucking dick or being girly or whatever. And they're just mocking the hyper masculine culture around, you know, a lot of deathcore. And you're like, cool, you get it. Even from the name straight away, you got it. So I'm loving that sort of.
That was a great thing when it came up. Was this a randomizer one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got you guys off the randomizer. We try and work off the randomizer on the map, you know.
Straight away, it was like Scopus Magnus. It's like, what are you going to get here? And then you look at Sniper Metal. Okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah, the genre descriptor and the band name. I'm like, I know exactly what I'm getting here. So it was a lot of fun. So you mentioned you've been, you know, working on some new songs. Are they, you know, for people that have, you know, if we were to listen to what you guys have already got out there, are they similar vein? Are they a bit more complex, a bit more riffy? Like, what can people expect from those new materials compared to what's out there already?
Yeah, it's treading on the same path, I would say.
Okay.
So not we're trying to.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I kind of agree, but I think we have. In a way, we have focused the things that work really well on the first EP, and then just, you know, polished them.
Yeah.
There's not so much technical for us in the song Sandstorm during Operation Desert Storm. On the there's some really necrophagic stuff going on in there, but I don't think we yet have a song which has that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like more groovy
I think that will be probably that we'll try to stick on the grooviness maybe a bit more and try to stay away from the technical stuff.
Hey, you can splash it in there. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with flexing the chops and stuff like that and having a bit of fun with it if that's what you enjoy doing and it's what the song needs. But that's got to be the main thing. You can't just do it for the sake of it. If the song needs it, it'll let you know.
Yeah.
You'll be sitting there going, there's something that needs, and it'll just throw the technical stuff in there and have a play around with
for sure,
with all that technical stuff.
But that's the thing. Like I think that what you've got out there already, like there's not a lot of fat on there. You know, if I was writing that, there isn't anything I would trim off of that. You know, so everything that's there feels like it belongs. Everything that's there works with everything else. It's just such a well put together collection of songs. So is there like so who does like the lyrics? Is that like a group thing? Is that's Saku. Okay, so is there like, do you just kind of try and come up with like funny stuff, or like how's your process when you're writing?
Well, I mean, sometimes the guys help me with this, but the goal of the lyrics was to, you know, back in the day when this project was just, you know, a name that we always just, you know, when we were drunk, we used, like, it was a joke, you know. And, we used to come up with this like really forced, over the top, simple lyrics that, you know, all the rhymes and stuff were just really forced and grammatically wrong. And you know, I try to write them, you know, holding that in mind. I think the humor comes from the kind of desperation. Like you force something to rhyme. It's just, you know, like the 600 meters to the Church of St. Peter's. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
it rhymes, so we're just calling it that. It just works and it rhymes and it's relevant and it fits and
and you know, well, I think that's the main point. Keep it simple, keep it stupid.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, look, it's because music, I guess, can be so subjective a lot of the time. Sometimes it is nice just to have fun with it and sort of take a step back and just be like, I just want to play some heavy metal and just scream my guts out and just have a mad time with it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of the point. I think at the starting point of this band was when we started to make music our own. On this project, I think, at least I had in mind that this is going to be a project where we can make up riffs that sound like anything. You know, there's not a single, you know, like this is going to be this kind of metal, this is going to be that kind of metal. We're going to only use oriental scales, or we're just going to use the blues scales or stuff like that. So we can just make up any kind of riff we want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The only real rhyme is that the only real rule. There's no rules to it. It's just have as much fun as you can.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good.
Just play something that sounds good.
Yeah.
And I mean that's what's most important. You know, I think too many bands focus on, you know, trying to fit themselves into a box, or, you know, they feel like they have to stick with a certain sound for one reason or another. And it's just I understand sometimes working within boundaries works better for certain people. Like, that's fine. I'm fully on board with that if that's what works best for you. But I think some people get so into that mindset that they're afraid to just put in something just a little bit different, you know, and then they end up sounding like every other band out there. Like, I'm sure you guys I'm sure you guys can think of it. If I was to say, you know, like a lot of these modern deathcore bands sounds they have all the same production and they sound all of the same, and it's like, how are you distinguishing yourself from the next band, right? Whereas if you're going out there and looking at, you know, trying to find other bands that are doing something a bit different, like what the guys in like Landmarks are doing at the moment, which is just like, that's off the charts, you know, like those guys are out there doing insane stuff, and they're, you know, infusing little bits of like rap sections in there, and it's like in French, and you're like, what, you know, it's just doing stuff that you wouldn't expect and it's the stuff that it is doing that's, you know, within the normal bounds of the style, is just done to such a high level that when they throw that extra stuff in there, it's really, really impressive. Or even if you go into a slightly more like even almost a more like kind of borderline rock metal space with something like Auralize. I don't know if you're familiar with that band, but they I think they're a German band, I think, from what we could find, but they had like they've got like they're heavy but with like some, they're kind of on that borderline between rock and metal, and they've got some almost progressive-y elements, but then there's some genty kind of guitar work in there, and then they have a fucking saxophone solo in the middle of the song. Like, but it works. It's just so, you know, you want to, if you have what, find the base of what you do, and then just like you build the little extra branches off of that to have fun and make it unique. And I think that's a really great example of what you guys are doing with Scopus Magnus.
I think that what you said reminded me. I watched the interview of Not Loose's guitarist, and he says that, you know, Not Loose, of course, they were on Jimmy Kimmel or something. I don't know. I'm Finnish. Anyway, he said that when they write songs, riffs, and production, they try everything they do. They aim for the feeling of that we can't fucking do this. This is too over the top, and then they do it. You know, just like pushing the limit all the time. You know, like how ridiculous can you?
You say it on here so often, you can hear it when bands play it safe, and you can hear the potential there that they can just go that little step further. Because they've done that so well. It's like you did that almost too easy, especially when you see some bands and it's like the first thing they dropped, and it's almost like it's too good. And I don't know whether that's maybe a jealousy thing on my part, but then it's just like, you got to push the boundaries, but that's how you do it.
Well, the best piece, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when it came to music was that if something is worth doing, it's worth overdoing. And I think that's such a, like, it's bang on, because it distills exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, you have to be able to go, all right, if this idea is worth doing, it's worth doing to 110%. And I think, like a lot of bands shy away from that for fear of being seen as cringy or gimmicky or whatever. But like, I miss that from my music. Like, I want that people taking those ideas to that limit. Like, if you would say, look at Bloody Wood, you know, an Indian metal band, and if you'd said, okay, we're going to have this Indian metal band, and they're going to have like, they're going to play up their culture in their music, and they're really going to like make that a key part of it, right? Rather than, you know, as opposed to a band that's probably a bit more traditional in how they present themselves in the metal scene, like Gutslit, which is also from India, but they tend to be more like straightforward, you know, jeans, presentation of it. But you know, Bloody Wood's out there, and they're dressing in like, you know, Indian clothing, and they're incorporating Hindi and Punjabi into their work, and traditional Indian instruments into it, and it's just like the description sounds silly almost, but when you listen to it, they're like, cool, they've gone 110% with that idea, and it works. Everything about it works. So it's just a great concept that I feel more bands need to embrace. You know, don't be afraid to embrace those ideas, because that's what will set you apart and help you stand out. I think it's just, and again,
the thing, like, if you're not going to do that, you do stuff like you do. You try and invent a whole new genre, and you know, stand out in that sort of way. And you know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. But if you got a gut feeling and you're like, man, let's give this a go, you give it a go, and what happens? You're still in the exact same position that you were if you didn't give it a go, probably.
Yeah, but that's it. Like you guys said, this was like a idea, like a kind of almost a joke that you guys
running
had,
joke
that you guys had, for years, and now you've done something with it, and like it's turned out. I think it's turned out brilliantly. And it's definitely a concept that you can run with. So is there? Obviously, we've talked about you guys wanting to start doing some gigs this year. You're working on some new music. Obviously, no timelines on that yet because that's still, a ways off probably. But what is there anything that you want people to? Obviously, bands that have any sort of like militaristic theming in their music can get misconstrued, misunderstood with what they're actually trying to say and what they're actually about. People can, take a certain idea and twist it around to mean something different. Like, what's the sort of key thing that you want people to understand about like the music that you guys are putting out there?
I think
just don't take it too seriously. Is that kind of the?
Yeah, I mean,
we like war games.
Yeah. You play a lot of Call of Duty?
No.
No, but I think take the music seriously, but
we're on the side of the good guy.
Yeah. How to say it? I think maybe at some point we will have to publish the lyrics. Because lyrics-wise, I try to do something that makes you want to actually read them, and the names of the songs are so ridiculous that I think it kind of drives you to actually like, what are they singing about?
Yeah, especially when you got like I snipe, you die.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't understand it wrong.
That's the point of being a sharpshooter. Yeah. But
working class metal.
Well, I mean, if you don't get it, then I don't think I don't think anybody who listens to metal actually, really take the lyrics seriously. Like, let's say.
Well, to be fair, I did do it all for the nookie.
Yeah. Paco actually used to sing in a Limp Bizkit cover band, William played guitar.
Oh yeah! Oh, hell yeah! Oh, dude, if you can play Westmoreland stuff, I'm all about that. I love that. Like that's some skills.
Yeah. I sold away my guitar, which had the whammy bar. So, unfortunately, I think the Limp Bizkit days might be over for now, at least.
Yeah.
Well, what we need now is we need like on the next EP, there needs to be a song featuring Dread first. And you have to do the Fred Durst impression on there, like.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
And
Fred Durst, smart.
Yeah, but like just flip it around so it's Dread first. It even works, within the theme of the thing. That you can have that one for free. There you go.
Yeah, we can credit you on the.
No, it's fine. Fucking hell. All right. Well,
I love the most random shit comes in, but that's the whole thing when you're talking to creatives and stuff like that. It's half the fun.
Yeah.
And like you said, no idea is off the table. It's like if an idea comes up and you're giving me a reason not to do it, and we haven't tried it, it's not good. That's not good. It's negativity that you're putting in there before the idea's even started.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, nowadays, if someone, finds something, I don't know, controversial or offensive about your lyrics, they are actively trying to find it, and
Yes.
that's their problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what's up. Everyone who listens to us knows what's up.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, look, when you've got bands like Infant Annihilator out there, I think that Scopus Magnus is probably the least of the PC Police's worries.
Oh yeah. On the other hand, for death metal, lyrics are kind of like a plot in a porno movie.
oh yeah,
So if you're singing in a way that no one can understand, then
yeah.
Now, I like that description. Actually, I'm gonna pinch that one. That's really, really good. I dig that.
Yeah.
I dig that.
So I'm a Lamb of God fan. It's like I got a grown man telling me to come take his hand so we can go walking through hell together. You can't take that seriously. Come on. No, listen to him. Listen to him. He's going to take you on to hell with him. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There has to be, I think. But hey, look, there's always going to be the minority of people that take things a bit too seriously. So it's just, it's. I just think, but like you say, I really think that the concept is apparent enough that people can realize it's serious to the point of unseriousness.
Yeah.
And go with that. And that's what, and I think if you're going to present something seriously in metal, that's the best way to do it. There's obviously room for actual serious things like songs. If people want to make songs about genuine issues and things like that, 100% on board with that. But I think just there's too many metalheads just aren't prepared to laugh at themselves. And those are the kind of people that I just don't have time for. You know what I mean? Like if you can't look at heavy metal and especially the more extreme branches of it and recognize how inherently silly it is in its own way, like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you. I mean, so look, obviously, like you mentioned, you guys were originally planning to start as like a bolt thrower, like cover band thing, but what are like kind of the main, like musical influences for you guys on the project? So like bolt thrower is obviously like a big, Sabaton, I would imagine, is probably in there as well.
Not really.
Well, I mean, lyrics wise, sure. And the theme maybe it's really similar.
I don't want to be related to a project which has Sabaton. Not really. I'm not that elite. Lyrics.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
But other inspirations, Torture Killer.
Finnish band, really good. You should listen to Torture Killer.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
The Crown.
Yeah.
Man, the Crown. Okay, I got to talk about this for a second. No one fucking knows the Crown. No one knows the Crown. I came across their shit like 20 years ago. I think it was like the Speed of Darkness or whatever the album was with that song on it. And like
Terror.
that's the one. That's the one. And like I have been on the Crown for 20 years. No other fucker over here that I ever talked to has ever heard of them. And I'm like, why are you guys not fucking listening to this band? Like seriously, that's the band. It's like I just don't get why they are not bigger, globally than they are. Like their music is absolutely killer.
Raff, you might lose your shit if you hear this, but they were here in our hometown 2 weeks ago. The Crown.
Oh,
I would love to see those guys live. I really, really would. Just once in my life.
Yeah, their previous show here was in 2003, so 22 years there. So
yeah, it's like you say. You said globally, but I'm not surprised that the Swedish band is not really popular in Australia. Martin, I don't know. Yeah, it's good.
Awesome.
Hopefully we're changing that, and hopefully with our little Australian viewers that we do have, yes, we know. We can see the numbers.
Well, hey, this is the thing though. Like we've got like our audience is fairly global, really. Like we have been, even though the channel's only got a few thousand subscribers, like we have, especially from our reaction videos, like we have people from all over the world following, which is great. Like I love that. I love that we have a global audience and we're not only serving like just a niche thing here in Australia. We're like reaching out sort of all over the world, and our stuff is reaching those corners of places. Cause like it's, you know, I won't.
The channel, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I won't lie. I won't
world.
lie. This YouTube channel has had more success than any band I've ever been involved with, right? But it's like I love the fact that we can sort of that people from and that, you know, we interview Australian bands, we try and feature Australian bands in our reactions and stuff, and our interviews as well sometimes, and we just like we want to. I think we may even have to just do a video where we list off a shit ton of Australian bands for people to check out, because the metal scene, I imagine it's probably much this. You guys probably feel much the same way. Like the metal scene in Australia just has so much talent in it that doesn't get the attention that it deserves. And like I really, really feel like if I've got like a notes app in my phone, like five or six pages long of Australian bands. And I guarantee, like, if I was to send you guys that list, you would find a new, like, top 5 band somewhere out of that list in your road. Like, that you would just be, because it's just so much variety, and, you know, the passion for the art is there, because they're not doing it to make money. I tell you that, they are not doing it to fucking make money. You know, it's just, we got a niche market over here as it is, and then you're playing a niche genre within that niche market, and everyone's so fucking like, yes, we're concentrated in the cities, but the cities are so far apart from each other. Like it's 1,000 kilometers from Sydney to Brisbane, and from Sydney to Melbourne. And it's like the capital cities of their respective states, they're 1,000 kilometers apart. Like the travel to reach these audiences is ridiculous over here, as opposed to like, I mean, I know. Like Europe, you guys are, we drive for like 12 hours and we're in the same state. You guys drive for 12 hours and you can cross like 3 countries, right?
Yeah, especially in the Central Europe.
Yeah.
It is like,
North
or Scandinavia, it's or at least in Finland, we have just lots of wood, so you can drive for 3-4 hours and not be in another city. But
still in the forest.
Yeah, but maybe still we could travel 6 hours in the east and we would end up in Russia or shot.
Yeah. Or shot. Well, especially the way things are going right now.
Russia or heaven.
It's a bit tense right now. So, all right. Well, look, we'll wrap the main podcast there. So thank you very much, guys. But look, everyone who's listened to this one, or if you watch this on YouTube, stay tuned for the weekend, because we will have the quick question quarter coming on the weekend, as well as Get in the Bin. So stick around on YouTube for those ones. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be alerted of those. And we're going to have links to everything that Scopus Magnus has going on. So go and listen to the fucking music. First off, if you haven't listened to it, go and listen to it. It's fucking banging. Second of all, go and follow them on all the socials so you can keep up with what's going on. You can keep an eye out for when they're releasing new stuff. And maybe if you're in their fucking area, you can even go to the shows.
Yeah, who knows?
Because you should go to the shows if you're in the area, because they're fucking, they're good dudes and they play good music and they deserve some support. So definitely you want to get out there. But look, thank you so much, guys, for joining us today, for Will, Yade, and Saku. We really, really appreciate that. We will be back with all of you amazing audience members this weekend for some more videos. As we said, if you liked today's video, give it a like. If you didn't, downvote the shit out of it. A massive, massive thank you to our guests again, Scopus Magnus. I have been Reverend Raff. He has been the Beer Buddy Kyle. If you've watched this far or listened this far, you're absolutely amazing. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell down there. It helps the channel grow. We are still a fairly young channel and we like to try and grow our audience all over the world. We do also, for those of you who are interested, have a Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. At the moment, you get all the videos early and ad-free, but we are working on ways to increase the value of that and make it a bit more enticing. So don't forget to keep an eye out and check back on what's going on over there. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.